What is going on, everybody? Welcome back, and here's a great example of life's little curveballs. I had a plan for today. I was going to spend a day shooting video inside the kitchen. Essentially how I prep for a day, or the types of foods that I eat for a day, but that was going to be centered around some of my training. And I don't know, I caught something yesterday. It's nothing serious. On a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 2. And today it's actually, I feel a lot better than I did yesterday. But it actually made me think of, like, hey, here's a great, I'm not training today. I said I'm not gonna, you know what, I'm still not feeling the hottest. I'm not feeling 100%. So I'm not gonna train today. But here's a great example of a topic we can cover. And I figured I have some prepping to do regardless. So I figured while I'm talking about the topic, why not do some prepping? So that topic is training while sick. And I've had plenty of questions about this from other people. I've dealt with this issue myself over the years. And I mentioned this in the welcome video, the last video, and I will mention it one more time, and I probably will keep playing the broken record on this. I'm sorry, but sometimes people need gentle reminders. I'm going to run you through my perspective on it. So again, it doesn't mean it's absolute truth or law. And what after all these years, what I've done or how I handle that. I've got to be honest with you, it's kind of sad for me, because I was coming up on 3 years where I haven't been sick. I haven't had, not even like the common cold. This will be an issue for, people in terms of their training and whatnot, and their lifestyle, and how they live that lifestyle, and how they cope with this. Back in 2015, when I was doing my very first competition, my debut, I got really sick. About 5 weeks before the show, I got sick. Like I said, if this is a 2 right now, what I'm going through, that was an absolute 9-10. And I remember I felt so horrible. It was like whooping cough, especially at night. But I had my very first show coming up, and so it was one of those situations about 5 weeks before where I had to push through that thing. But I made it through, I pushed through, I got to the show, got done with the show, and for that, first week after the show, I was eating a lot more, and I wasn't training at all. I took that entire week off, and I think it was within 4 days after the show was over, I was fine. It went from a 10 to a 2, like it is now, where it's noticeable, but it's not to the point where you're like, oh God, I can't function. And I all of a sudden it clicked, and I'm like, holy crap. I wasn't eating enough food. I wasn't getting great rest. I was barely sleeping. And on top of that, there was all the stress behind the show. So the point is, I figured out that, holy crap, I was stressed. I wasn't sleeping very well. I was training my butt off. I wasn't eating enough. And my body could not recover over that period of 5 weeks. It just couldn't recover. And it couldn't heal itself. And it was torn in so many different directions that it wasn't until after the show, when everything stopped and I was eating more and I was getting better rest, that all of a sudden, I started to heal. My body started to recover because I wasn't tearing it in 15 different directions. I used to be that guy. I used to be that guy that no matter what, I'm training today. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to train today, and I'm going to get this thing done and accomplished, and there's nothing that's going to stop my goals. In the past, actually, I trained with the flu. Which is stupid in retrospect. That's how serious I was about this whole situation and this lifestyle and everything, and nothing was going to stop me. And my stance since then has changed quite a bit. But it's to the point now where I completely understand, especially because of my experiences in the past, that your body can only do so much. Think of your body as having a certain amount of resources. If you start pushing your body to a point where you go over those resources and the body doesn't have any more resources, it will put its hands up in the air and go, I don't know what you want me to do. You're sick. You need to recover, and I need to use these resources to recover. But you're still training really hard, breaking your body down, that I need to recover from that as well, and I don't know what to do. What happens when you get sick? The first thing you need to do is stop training until you feel well. The second thing is get as much rest as you can. People seem to forget that when you sleep, in terms of the physical aspects of your body, when you sleep, that is when your body is doing its repair work. That's when it's fixing things, it's regenerating cells, so on and so forth. Do what you need to do and take what you need to take to get that accomplished. I'm not an advocate on drugs anymore. I don't do the over-the-counter stuff anymore. I just don't. It's one of those situations where I don't do that anymore. I go the more natural route. So here are some things that I take that help me sleep. Melatonin. Melatonin helps regulate your sleep and your wake cycles. When you have more melatonin in your system, then towards the evenings, you're gonna be able. Your body's gonna want to go to sleep. Essentially, you're gonna go through that restful sleep cycle. So take melatonin. I would just caveat: if you've never taken melatonin before, you can get them from anywhere from 1 to 10 milligram doses. I would start off small and work my way up, gauging tolerance, and at least make sure you're going to get, you're going to take it and you're going to be able to get a complete 8-hour cycle of sleep. It affects everybody differently, especially in the beginning. The other thing that I'll do, and I've noticed huge benefits from, it's a company called doTERRA, and they have some essential oils, and they have a calmer, restful blend. So this is for sleep. And they also have a peace blend, where if you feel like you're anxious or your mind is racing, this will help. These are not expensive. These are, I think, $20 a bottle for each one of these. I've been using these for these 2 bottles for well over a month now, and I've barely used anything. One other thing that and once again for helping with sleep that I've noticed it helps me out, it's called GABA. It's a neurotransmitter inhibitor. So what it does, when you're going to sleep and your mind is just active, it's active, right? You're just thinking and you can't go to sleep and your mind is racing. GABA will help to kind of naturally shut the mind down a little bit. When I'm towards the end of my competition season, when it's really tough for me to sleep, I'll take a 1,500 milligram dose. Start small if you're not used to that, and work your way up based on your tolerance. But that's a great way to kind of naturally shut your mind down, so that you just your mind and your body are together. Like, there have been plenty of times where my body I'm ready for bed physically. I'm yawning, I'm tired, I can't barely keep my eyes open, but my mind is just it's racing still. It's not on par with where my body is. Even right now, because I'm not used to taking it, I'll take a 750 milligram dose. If I'm having trouble getting my mind to stop racing, and I'll take a 750 milligram dose, and within 15 minutes, I'm out. I go back to bed and I'm out. So those are just some ideas for how, natural ways of how to help with restful sleep. So back to the focus of you're sick. What should you do? Number 1, obviously, was don't train. Number 2, get restful sleep. Number 3, I would say, is don't stress. Have a positive outlook, have a positive mindset about the situation. Don't focus on being sick. Focus on getting well. And it's going to lower your levels of stress, which is going to help your body heal. Studies have been done on this, and they have proved that stress does affect the body physically. If you have a lot of stress, you're putting a lot of stress on the body physically, and that makes it much more difficult. So don't stress about it. Focus on being healthy. Don't focus on disease. Have a positive mindset. 4, make sure that you're not eating garbage. I know we get sick and we have a tendency to just let everything go, and before you know it, you're eating things you shouldn't be eating. And when I say garbage, I mean things that have copious amounts of refined sugar, artificial sweeteners, high refined carbs, things like that. Essentially anything in the center aisles of the grocery store or the freezer section. Don't eat that stuff. It's not going to help you. So what kinds of foods should you eat? I would stick to a lot of fruit if you can. Now it depends on what you have. I mean, if you've got the stomach flu, you're obviously not going to be consuming anything at that point. But if you've got a cold and your digestive system is fine, fruits and vegetables high in antioxidants. There's a saying, we all know it, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. And there's a reason why. It's because apples are one of the best fruits you can eat. Some MDs have said that if they could prescribe one food, not one fruit, but one food on like a mono diet, a one food type diet, apples. So get apples, grapes, oranges. A big one is blueberries. Blueberries is another fruit that is just packed with antioxidants. Bananas, get fruit. In terms of vegetables, anything green, anything that is kind of a coniferous type vegetable, like broccoli. Broccoli is another food that is just a superfood. Broccoli, spinach, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, anything that is green, shoot for that. That's a great way to do it. But go for other vegetables if you like other vegetables. The point is, get plenty of fruits, get plenty of vegetables. Avoid eating garbage that is going to kind of make your system have to work towards getting rid of those toxins. Copious amounts of refined sugar are toxic. Eat a lot of foods that are going to help your body recover, not hinder it. And finally, take supplements that are going to help your body recover. First of all, take a multivitamin. Take a multivitamin. I don't care how great your nutrition plan is, there's always going to be, in terms of vitamins and minerals, there's always going to be gaps to fill. Some people, and if your nutrition plan isn't all that great, you're going to have a lot more gaps to fill. So this helps fill those vitamin and mineral deficiencies in your diet and nutrition. The second thing is plenty of vitamin C. I take, for example, even when I'm well, I take 3 doses at 8-hour intervals. So a dose in the morning when I get up, a dose about 8 hours later, and a dose before I go to bed. It's water soluble. So it doesn't matter. You can't overdose on it. It's one of those things where if you get too much, like creatine, if you get too much, you'll pee it out essentially. A big one, and this is a super supplement, is glutamine. One of the benefits of glutamine is it helps with immune system. So it's going to boost your immune system. It's going to help your body fight off what's going on. And so why wouldn't you take this? And the best part is inexpensive. You can find this at a GNC. You can find this anywhere online. And I think I take about, even on a regular day, I'll bump it up when I'm sick, like right now, when I'll bump it up just to help boost it a little bit. But it's one of those things I think I take about 2,000 or 3,000 milligrams a day for regular training right now. But like I said, we'll go over all of the benefits of glutamine, and there's a ton later on. That'll be a whole nother video. And finally, something that I've come across, just happened to come my direction from a company called Unaltered Athletics, is a supplement called Fully Dosed Immune Defense. It's not expensive, but it's got a lot of the stuff I just mentioned in here, plus a proprietary blend to help with immune system support. They sent it my direction, I've tried it, and I would recommend it, because like I said, it's got a lot of the stuff that I've mentioned in here, plus zinc, plus a proprietary blend. It's not expensive. And once again, you take 1 dose in the morning and you're set. You've got everything you need for your body to start doing what it's got to do in terms of its healing process. So once again, check them out. So I hope this helps, and I'm pretty sure you're going to take at least one thing away from this to help you out as you move on your road to recovery and back to being well and healthy. Hey, once again, my thanks. If you like the video, please throw me a like, throw me a comment. I always want to hear what you have to say. If you've got an opinion, if you've got something else you want to throw in there, if you have a question, please throw me a comment. Share it with people that you know will benefit from it. And then please, if you like what you're seeing here, subscribe to the channel. So with that, once again, thank you very much. I hope you're all doing well. And thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate it.